Yep.
Is that a minute behind or something? All right.
All right. We'll call the regular meeting of September 5th, 2023 to order. We could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Douglas,
Here.
Ms. Hayes, Mr. Horvath,
Here.
Mrs. Sensi,
Here.
and Mr. Thompson.
Here.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I move.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
Mr. Douglas,
Yes.
and Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, under board member reports, we'll begin with a moment of silence. It is always sad to learn of someone's passing, especially when it is a member of our Madison family. Recently, we learned of the passing of Veronica Ronnie Smith, a retired Madison teacher. Ronnie was born June 26, 1932 in Zanesville, Ohio, and passed away on August 14th, 2023. Ronnie was an educator for over 30 years and taught first and third grades at Homer Nash Kimball Elementary School. She loved quilting, cross stitch, and needlepoint. She received a degree from Brigham Young University in genealogy, another one of her passions. Cindy leaves behind her brother Paul, her children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and many family and friends who will miss her dearly. All of us at Madison Schools extend our deepest and most sincere sympathy to Ronnie's family and friends. All right, are there any board members wishing to give a report this evening? We don't have anyone registered for public participation, so we'll move on to reports and recommendations of the treasurer.
Thank you. First up, I would like to recommend the approval of the financial statements for August 2023 as listed.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Douglas,
Yes.
and Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next on the agenda, I would like to recommend the approval of the following donations. A generous donation of 40 book bags from Great Day Child Care Center to North Elementary School to be used for students. A generous donation of $3,000 from Classic East Incorporated to Madison Local Schools to be used for the Reggie Dabbs presentation. A generous and kind donation to repair the soccer stadium sound system from Carmuse. That was all.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just want to thank Classic and GMC and it's the Buick group for this donation. They helped us last year with the car raffle. This year they're helping with this presentation. And we're just very grateful for their support to be able to bring Reggie Dabbs. And I'll talk a little bit about that in my presentation this evening.
Roll call?
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Douglas,
Yes.
and Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next is the resolution authorizing the sale and issuance of bonds. This is what we went through last year. This is in regards to the energy conservation project. And so this is the first step that allows us to be able to go through the yearly refinancing of the bond. So I would like to recommend the resolution authorizing the sale and issuance of bond anticipation notes for the purpose of refunding a prior series of bond anticipation notes, the proceeds of which were originally used to acquire energy efficiency improvements for the school district.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
Mr. Douglas,
Yes.
and Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, reports of the administrative team.
First, I want to just say that I sent home in a community update, a reminder from the health department to practice, hygiene, stay home when you're sick, fever-free for 24 hours. You do have some, COVID in the district, nothing to get overly concerned about, but it is there. Obviously, our first lady had tested positive for it. People are traveling over the holiday weekend. Seasonal viruses are coming, flu, RSV again. So all these respiratory bugs are out there. We're just asking people to stay home when you're sick. We will work with kids. You know, obviously we want them in school because that's where they need to learn. But if they're sick, then they risk getting other people sick, and it just starts that big domino. And with all the heat and humidity, it just becomes that perfect storm of germs. So, but our health commissioner did a really nice job in that update to the community that I put out, just basically saying, wash your hands, cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze, do it this way, not in your hand, and then don't go shake somebody's hand, all of those things. It's just a good general reminder. And then, wipe down surfaces regularly and all those kinds of things. So that's one thing. I do want to promote Reggie Dabbs. He will be in the district next Monday and Tuesday. And on Tuesday evening, we will have a community event at the middle school where we will have pizza, cookies, and some water for families and community members that want to come hear what he has to say. He is such a dynamic speaker, and he couldn't be coming at, I think, at a more critical time where we have kids that just have a lot of needs, and you hear an uplifting message that you can overcome just about anything that life throws at you with a little bit of humor and a little bit of music is, I think, good for everybody. And I'm really looking forward to next Monday and Tuesday. And again, we couldn't do it without the sponsors that we were able to get: the Madison Bingo, Madison Kiwanis, and the Classic Group. They really came through to help bring this presentation to Madison.
What time Tuesday?
Tuesday, 6:00
And that's at the middle school?
at the middle school.
Thank you.
So we're very, very excited. And I, did invite Kiwanis and Bingo to, be a part of that, to see what they donated to. Speaking of our bingo boosters who have generously donated to the renovation of the lecture hall, that work is continuing. As soon as it's done, I would like to host a meeting there versus here. I don't know if it'll be in time for our meeting on the 20th, but definitely by our October meeting. To
That's
show
very
off the
close.
work. Yeah, to show off the work. I think, they've been working hard laying down the carpet. They've painted. They're going to do carpeting, some on the walls. It's going to be a very nice redesign of that facility. So Bingo has done a great job supporting our schools and the work. Other than that, knock on wood, we've had a great start. I do want to talk a little bit about something that's on later on the agenda. Flipping a couple days on the calendar in looking at what they're talking about for the eclipse, taking that August 1st after Easter Monday day. It doesn't really change what's the length of a normal spring break, because we start our break a day earlier this year because of where Good Friday would land on the calendar anyway with Easter. So they're off the Friday before, we would normally have spring break through that week. So that still gives, a full week of spring break plus a day. And then just move that April 1st date, have school in session. And if people have trips planned, we're very flexible with this, obviously, because we did not create the solar eclipse problem. And when we did this calendar 2 years ago, no, it wasn't on anybody's radar. but to then make that the day off. They're saying that if we have ideal weather where the sun is out and everything's perfect, people will swarm this region for the eclipse. And I just want to be prepared so that, you know, there's been talk that the governor might come through and say close schools that day, but I haven't gotten anything, and to change calendars that much, I just want to be prepared. So this first reading allows us to say that we're going to do it. And in 30 days, which would be the October meeting, because our next meeting's in 2 weeks, the October meeting, we would act on it. So if he comes through between now and October and closes schools, makes it a mandatory closure, no problem. If not, then we're covered and we can start promoting the fact that, you know, it will, we're in school on April 1st, April Fools, there's no day off. And then April 8th, here we are. There's your day off. All right. Dave, you have anything?
I do not.
All right. You ready for the recommendations?
We are.
All right. Under the employment motion this evening, we're asking you to accept the following resignations. To accept with regret the retirement resignation of Lynn Laspina, accounts payable clerk, effective August 1st, 2023, after 11 years of service to the district. To accept with regret the retirement resignation of Peggy Watts, Madison Middle School Building Secretary, effective January 1st, 2024, after 26.5 years of service to the district. To accept the resignation of Alexandria Tomlinson, Educational Assistant, Playground at South Elementary School, effective August 9th, 2023. To employ the following persons for the positions and rate of compensation as listed below. Each of the following substitute teachers is approved by the Educational Service Center of the Western Reserve and/or the Madison Local School District's Assistant Superintendent under a 1-year limited substitute teacher contract, beginning with Constance Buchanan and ending with Jennifer Yo. The following persons each as a casual day-to-day substitute, Constance Buchanan and Amanda Spradlin. The following certificated personnel under a 1-year limited supplemental contract for the 2023-24 contract year, beginning with Chet Bergard, MMS 8th grade trip director, and ending with Amy Chapman, SES Infinite Campus coach. The following non-certificated persons under a 1-year limited service contract for the 2023-24 school year, beginning with Steve Couch, MHS Drama Advisor, and ending with Ralph Caswell, Teen Institute Advisor. Employed Jennifer Solly as an educational assistant, cafeteria at North Elementary School for 3 hours per day, effective August 30th, 2023. To approve the following change of placements on the teacher's salary schedule pursuant to ORC 3317.14 and Article 12 of the MEA negotiated agreement. Laura Arietta, and ending with Sean Scott. And then approving the following transfer. To approve the transfer of Crystal Wesley from 3.5-hour position, educational assistant cafeteria at Madison Middle School, to a 7.5-hour position as building secretary at Madison Middle School, effective September 1st, 2023.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Douglas,
Yes.
and Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, and the next is an amendment to the school calendar, first reading, so there is no vote on this. It's just to amend the 2023-24 school calendar to restore Monday, May Day, and to close school due to the eclipse on Monday, April 8th, 2020.
I'll move.
Second.
And there's your first reading. If anybody has questions or concerns, they can feel free to email me and I will let them know that an update. Well, there's the first question or concern. All right. We now have the consent calendar this evening. Very brief consent calendar to approve the following volunteer advisors. Brett Tomko for the Triumph Society, Bert Savon Technology Club, Tim Pira for the Ecology Club, and Micheline Guerrero for the Art Club. And then we are asking to amend the Madison High School fees for the 2023-24 school year as found in the attachment.
I'll move.
Second.
And I just want to say the amendment to the fees are, we are reducing some of the fees because we didn't realize that the fees had already been increased on the last one. So we're reducing it to the consistent of the 20%.
Gotcha.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
Mr. Douglas,
Yes.
and Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
We do not have a need for executive session.
No?
Is there a motion for adjournment?
Aye.
Second.
Roll call?
Who is the second?
Right.
Oh, right, okay. Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
Mr. Douglas,
Yes.
and Mrs. Sensi.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, we stand adjourned.